Good morning, YouTube family. Martinez Country Home here. Today's Tuesday, May 25th, 2021. Um, so what I wanted to talk about today, and I touched on it yesterday. Um, what I wanted to talk about today was hyperinflation. Now we've been talking about inflation, and I usually touch on that for almost all my videos. I talk about it um, because that is what's coming right now. There was 3 or 4 different videos on hyperinflation yesterday from different content creators. Um, Actually, from a lot of them. Basically, John Williams from Shadow Stats was interviewed, and he was talking about how by the by the beginning of 2022, he thinks that we'll be seeing hyperinflation, and now in 2011, when I woke up, right, one of the things that prompted me to prep, even though I was not really what you call a prepper, right, but I always had in my mind um, that we had to be ready for some kind of emergency, and my emergency in my mind was an economic collapse. uh, but to be honest, I didn't really start prepping with a purpose and in an organized way until the health crisis started coming along. And really, it honestly, it started before, like a month before it became apparent here. It started in February. Like when I told you before, Gregory Manarino was talking about how the stock market was gonna start losing a lot of points. It was gonna start going down a lot, and it did. Um, the health crisis just kind of made me kick it into overdrive. So now my point is that in 2011, when I woke up, um, when I realized what our health, what I mean, I'm sorry, not our health, but what our economy was all about, what money was all about, I went out and told my family that, excuse me, that that we were on the verge of collapse, and um, it could happen at any time. Uh, I warned them about hyperinflation because of all the money printing. What I didn't understand at that time was how much the Federal Reserve would manipulate, how much they would manipulate precious metal prices, how much, and how much money printing that they could do. I didn't think that was possible, honestly. Um, I thought that the central banks, and I thought that the financial system had to go by some rules, right? And so those rules, economic rules, were had to be followed. So a lot of people basically maybe thought I was crying wolf, right? And looking back, I understand that, and it's funny because I remember all of the podcasts that I listened to, excuse me, and the years um, that, like, from 2014, especially 2014, when I really started paying attention, was I started listening to a YouTube channel called X22 Report, and I kind of got away from that because this guy started talking about Q, and another one was SGT Report. He was pretty good about um, uh, pretty good about reporting on the economy, but then they started talking about Q, and they were still at least X22 Report talked about Q. SG2 Report talked about Q, and he was very, excuse me, political. He was really into the politics, and I just didn't believe in that. But anyway, that's another story. But anyway, um, so I've been following the economy for many years, and it really did collapse in 2008, guys. Basically, in 2008, 2009. We should have gone into basically a total collapse, but they basically just propped it up with fake money, printed money. That's what they did. They bailed out all the banks that had gone bankrupt, that should have gone bankrupt, and um, they made the taxpayer liable for that money. The U.S. government basically bailed out all the banks, and we got stuck with the bill, or in other words, the national debt. So the reasoning, I guess, is that, well, if not, the economy would have collapsed, and you'd be in Mad Max scenario or whatever. But that it would have been Mad Max for them, not for us. Not for us. It would have been a renaissance for us. It would have been a rebuilding of our nation, and even the world, right? So my point is, guys, is that I keep seeing, I keep up every day, all those years, every day. I've seen the progression, and I realized how much they can manipulate the economy, how much they manipulate the precious metals market, right, with paper contracts, and and the only difference I see that makes me believe that it is coming soon, the hyperinflation. It started with the repo market in 2011. I mean, I'm sorry, in 2019, in September of 2019. I remember all that when they started doing that. The banks, the central bank, they would go to the Federal Reserve, and they basically borrow money overnight just to stay solvent, and in the morning they'd pay it back, right? Like over and over. So they started doing that again, and I'm you know whenever you hear something on any kind of, even on any platform, it doesn't matter if it's the alternative media or the mainstream media. Whenever you start seeing stories such as the digital dollar is getting they have it ready, and it's gonna get rolled out eventually, right? I've been hearing that a lot the past week. Of course, we've been hearing about it for months and maybe even years, but especially last week. Last week, I started hearing about the digital dollar rollout, that it's gonna come, right? This week, I started hearing about the hyperinflation. Uh, I'm talking about in a specific way. Um, just yesterday by itself, I heard four different content creators make videos about that, and it was basically based off of John Williams' interview. So my point, guys, is that a lot of times these are trial balloons, right? That they let out, and it gets reported on, and they want to see what the reaction is, or whatever. But for whatever reason, they put it out. I think it's something that we need to pay attention to, and we can see it with our own eyes, right? We're A lot of us, we know how the economy works. We know how it's been manipulated. We understand that basically the Federal Reserve will collapse it when they're ready, or when they can't control it anymore. That's when they'll do it. But technically, they can print money forever. I mean, into infinity. And Alan Greenspan said that, people will get their Social Security checks, whatever checks that they're due. They have the money for it because they'll print it up. But like he said, it that doesn't guarantee how much that those dollars are gonna be able to buy, because they'll be devalued. So we need to keep that in mind, guys. And we need to see these signs when they come up. They're for a reason. And I'm feeling like we're being given a warning. And I don't know. It might be before 2022. It might come before that. He's saying in the early months of 2022, but we're halfway to 2021. Wow, that's crazy. We're done with half the year already, which is mind-boggling to me. But these months are gonna go by fast. So whatever you do, guys, I just wanted to make this video specifically to let you know. And I'm going to put links in the description. I'm going to try to put all the videos that I saw yesterday so that you can look at them all together. And these are great content creators. David Quintero from the Money GPS made one. The Atlantis Report made one. Alaska Prepper made one. Rudy always makes good videos. He understands. I like him because he understands. He can explain it to you in layman's terms, and he understands it in the technical sense of what's going on. Who else made one? Mike from Rethinking the Dollar also has been talking about that. He's another great content creator talking about the stock market, talking about the economy. So, guys, just like I tell y'all, I'm trying to give y'all some concrete information that to let you know that we do need to keep on prepping. We need to keep on stocking up on the things that we're gonna need, especially food, guys. The other day, I have a lot of dry rice, beans put away for long-term storage, and usually I keep my pantry stocked up for what we're gonna use daily, right? My pantry, my backup long-term is for long-term. And the other day I had to break into it. I had to open up one of the containers and pour it into what we use, right? So I'm like, that's a slip on my part. We have over 100 pounds of rice stored away, but I was like, I didn't want to do that. That was for long term. And I keep rice, that we use on the daily. I use that. Whatever we use, our working pantry, it's there. But anyway, guys, just keep stocking. I just wanted to make this video and let y'all know that the trend. This is a trend. In other words, this is the way the way they go. You get little. I mean, they're telling us. They're telling us what's coming. They always do that. They telegraph it, but most people are not aware. They don't. They're too busy doing other things that not paying attention. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to give you all that heads up. And like I said, I'll post the links in the description. So y'all have a great day. Y'all take care of each other and love each other out there, because that's what we're here for. God bless.